Hello everyone, welcome back to Anna Dialogue. Today, another episode dedicated to analog tapes. Reel-to-reel glory. Are you ready to discover a new production, a new project? Let's dive in now. So, today we are going to talk about a new analog project. A project called Analog Tone Factory. A very nice, cool name, I must admit, because the concept of tone is key in a quality reproduction. So, underlining that, choosing that as the title of their project, of their releases, is fantastic. I greatly love that. Congratulations. And in fact, they are starting to release a series of tapes. Actually, we could say the discography almost of a specific artist, which is actually involved in this project. Who am I talking about? Jerome Sabbagh, which I hope I am pronouncing correctly, because as you all know, I'm an Italian and I mispronounce especially names, but I think it should be correct. In any case, Jerome is the key man here. And just a few elements to give you an idea how this started. Jerome contacted me asking me if I wanted to review his albums, his LPs. Now, I already knew him very well. Actually, I bought one of his LPs, vintage, his last release, even though something new is about to come up. I'll tell you about that afterwards. And I knew exactly that he is a very peculiar musician. Not only a talented musician, but also somebody very careful, with his eyes completely open, on the end side, the consumer side, the final product, the sound of it. In fact, he is very, very careful to the whole chain of production, the recording, the mixing, the mastering, and how the final product will sound. And he is particularly devoted, that's why he was also pretty famous among audiophiles, because he is recording in analog tape, creating a full analog chain with his LPs. So already he won my heart there. Absolutely. Congratulations, Jerome. And he is also the mastermind behind, together, I'm obviously with his colleagues, of Analog Tone Factory. But they're starting now, practically. I mean, and their publications, their reels, their master tape copies, true copies from the original master tape, not a working tape, the master tape, okay? Pay attention, that's a key aspect of his discography, of his albums. In fact, I said, Jerome, don't send me the LPs, send me the tapes. And he said, okay, Guido, no problem. These are going back to him. So no kind of do des, as we say in Italy and in Latin, meaning that I'm not doing this in exchange of. No, because I want to do it. As you know, I like to promote small startups, or in any case, small labels that are dedicating, even big ones, no problem, but whoever is dedicated their attention to tape, analog productions. Absolutely. Very, very important. So, finally, after creating his LPs, they started to focus on doing master tape copies. Fantastic. So, once we agreed, the tapes got here. I had the chance to listen to them on my modified Studer, on my Telefunken M15, and now I will give you a few aspects, the physical characteristics. I'll give you also some samples, and then I'll give you also my final take on all of this, okay? Let's start now. Okay, so before listening to something and going more in depth on the sonics, I wanted to show you a little bit. Here is the package I'm not sure it's the final version. Probably not. It doesn't seem polished enough. In any case, this is a copy from the master copy, as I said, and even the final ones are going to be like that. Hand signed from Jerome. This is the album vintage. As you can see, here's the logo of the Analog Tone Factory. I hope you can see it. There's always a little too much light. Okay. And here we have side A, because one reel is dedicated to one side. Yes. Here we have the other one, where we have a little more of information, which I would like to share with you. This is related only to vintage, okay? How they made it. So this was recorded by Ryan Streber at Octaven Audio, Mount Vernon, to a multi-track analog tape, which I know is an SM900. Not the recording tape, I don't know about that, but the final tape they're using for vintage, okay? Probably even the one they used for recording. On a Studer A800 Mark III at 30 inch per second, okay? This was done in November 5th, 2020. And then there are other informations mixed by Pete Rende at Brooklyn Recording on a custom half-inch tube Ampix 351 at 30 inch per second. So even the mastering was analog. Very important. Assistant mixing engineer Andy Taub, Samuel Wall, mastered by Bernie Grudman at Bernie Grudman Mastering Hollywood. Master lacquer cut by Bernie Grudman directly from the analog tape using an all-tube system. Very, very cool. Okay, and this is one of his main releases, the last one actually out there. But in just a few days, we could say weeks, actually on August 30th, he is coming out with a new album. And here it is also on vinyl. It's called Heart. Very, very nice. Similar graphics, even though the older records were black and white. Always very stylish. I love the artwork a lot. Also, this aspect is very curated. Great attention on this stuff. I like it. Here are the guys of this last one. Jerome on tenor saxophone. Excellent tenor saxophonist. Joe Martin on bass, and Al Foster on drums. And here it is in all its glory. Its analog glory. Okay. Hence, I also managed to get a copy of this. Here it seems a little more refined. We have the exact same cover here. No information here. Now, at this point, I want to show you also the inside. Here we have this nice blue reel. Also, the vintage one has a blue reel. There were the tones here at the tails. I'm not sure. I'm probably you're not going to have that on your copy. And as you can see, the magnetic flux is pretty high, which is always a good sign of quality, and your recordings are going to last for a long time. Although you do need a quality recorder to play them back. Can't just get a crappy TIAC off the flea market and play and gonna expect to play these back correctly. Nope. Okay. Here we have the other information, which is also, as you have seen, the rear of the LP. Side B, same identical stuff. But I want to read you once again what happened here, how they did it, because they changed a few things. Recorded by James Farber at Power Station, New York. Live to a half-inch, 2-track analog tape on a custom tube Ampix 351. The same as before, but in a different place from a different engineer. Always at 30 IPS, which is a good solution when you're done. Then you're going to do copies at 15 IPS. On June 12 and 13, 2022. Assistant engineers Pete Rende, Aki Nishimura, Ben Miller, mastered by Bernie Grudman again, and cut also the LP by Bernie Grudman, the lacquers. Very, very cool. Okay, now that we have checked a little bit of different features, I want to say also that I asked Jerome on what tape these are recorded. And he said that the other one, as I said before, it's SM900 of recording the masters, but this instead is on SM468. And this is a BASF type of tape, vintage tape. He told me they have some, clearly at a certain point they're going to end, but they do have some. And I also think that the results, which I'm going to discuss afterwards, have something to do with this choice. Very interesting choice. Okay, apart from this, I think we're ready for a little sound test, and afterwards I'll give you finally my take. Let's go. Okay, clearly these are 15 inch per second. Maybe I forgot to say this, but it's pretty obvious. The equalization is CCIR or IEC. Clearly, I'll put the link also to their website where you're going to find all further details. There's also a promo on their tapes, and also some information on the musicians and different things like that. So, finally, I want to give you my impressions. Let's start from vintage. I must admit that when I bought vintage, I wasn't that much impressed. I fell in love with the whole concept. The record was good, absolutely, but it wasn't amazing, okay? It wasn't anything, as many say, to write home about. So I just put it there and happy to have it, but it ended there. So when I put the vintage tape, I found actually more or less the same stuff, the same impressions. Nice, but nothing that, once again, I was going to frame in my Hall of Fame. But once again, I mean, a very good sounding tape. Absolutely, a very good sounding LP. But you know, you guys, we're audiophiles. We're really after something amazing, okay? Then finally, I went to put on Heart, which, as I read to you before, the different specs, was done in a completely different environment, different tape, blah, blah, blah. And I must admit that Heart is one of the best albums on tape I have ever heard. Yes, it's amazing. It's truly amazing. Congratulations. Fantastic job. The LP captures a lot of it, but tape is tape, guys. I mean, tape is tape. a completely different experience. Ditch your CDs, ditch your streaming, because you ain't gonna get anything better than this, really. It's a combination, I'm sure, of improved recording environment, microphones, the way everything was mic'd. As someone said, I read some reviews after I listened to everything, that they have the impression that things are closer. Absolutely true. In respect to vintage, for example. The tape, the choice of this vintage tape just gives a different flavor, a fantastic flavor, even though my machines are calibrated for SM900. No problem there, even though, because that's more important for recording. You know, some do that also for playback, the crazy guys. But, I mean, already there, the sound was just astonishing. Now, it's true, it's very simple music, meaning it's 3 musicians, practically something ideal, but it's not that easy to record drums. In fact, that's one of the weak points, in my opinion, of vintage. The drums are much better on this album. Someone with a little more experience, I have to say, at least with the drums, was there. Because it's really, when I say underline this, really difficult to mic and record correctly drums. Now, all of my comments, the negative, the positive, are on the sonics, okay? Because from an artistic point of view, I love them all. I love vintage. I love this. I've streamed other things by Jerome. No problem there. Very, very good musicians involved with he got involved with that there are playing with him. No question on that, okay? We're talking mainly of sonics, of audiophile sonics. And I must admit, I want to underline how good Heart is. And if you can, I would go the extra mile. Actually, it's a little more than that, because the tapes go around a little above $500, okay? Which is not cheap, but we know tapes have that price for the tape, for the process. Plus, in contrast with other guys, they're doing one-on-one copy from the master tape. Nobody does that. Very, very rare, okay? And probably they're not going to do it forever. So, okay, now I can say it. I'm going to ask Jerome if this can stay with me. Obviously, I'll pay my fee. But I really think this is worthwhile. Vintage is good. This is special, okay? Special. Okay, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I think you understood what's going on. I think you already know Jerome and his great music and these amazing projects he is behind. Okay, guys, thank you again for watching. And remember, especially today, music is born analog. Well, guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.